Hi guys! So no one is in here at the current moment, but I am going to be doing a little session, as you can see by the title, on some of the questions that sometimes we get asked, whether it's here on YouTube or, in everyday life. So I guess when I do my lives, I always just like to jump into it because, hi, welcome. How are you? Um, yeah, and for those of you that are coming in, comment down below and let me know if you are a large family, so therefore you'd understand this question that I do get frequently asked. And I didn't even necessarily think that a large family was 4 kids, but I guess it is. Because there are much larger families that are here on YouTube who have a lot more children, but welcome guys. So anyways, I'm just going to jump right into it because that's how I typically start off. So, everyone always asks, like, how do we afford to have all these kids on one income? And I always have to start off by saying we don't live in the States. That's always my big go-to because I know the differences between living in the US and in Canada, or even living anywhere else, like abroad. I know that's the one country that I feel like, okay, you have 5 kids and your husband works, I'm working from home, 3, but focusing on homeschool. Okay, so I'm not the only one. So you're in the same predicament because obviously you know that we would like to have at least one more. So you understand, surviving on one income while taking care of your kids at home. And I would love to also hear, I'm going to be sharing like what we do to survive, but I'd love to hear some of what you guys do as well, because I feel like people, I don't know, I guess it all depends on your values, right? It has to do with the way, yeah, it has to do with your values and what you, I guess, what you dream of spending or what you dream of buying for your family. Or I know kids and family, they do cost money for sure. At the same time, there's so many ways around that you can minimize the cost of things, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg, you know? So I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna share some of the things that we've been using or been doing. So if you see me looking off to the left, because I also just looked it up, looked up something, and it was kind of funny because the woman's she's basically saying the same things that I did to, that's what she uses for her family, and she's got 7 kids. So it's a lady's blog, but her first tip was to budget. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's what she said. But I'm going to start off by, I think the first thing that helps determine if you should be staying at home to begin with, or to, I don't know, not just staying at home, but surviving on the one income, is to obviously assess what the income is. Is your partner's income enough to sustain you guys at home, right? I feel like that's the first thing to determine, because I think give or take where you live, certain places you have to pay for health insurance and all these other things, where in here for us in Canada we don't have to pay that. I mean, it does come out through the form of taxes. It does come out one way or the other, but in terms of paying it up front, we don't necessarily do that, having to go buy insurance and all those other things outside. So for us, one of the first things that I felt like we had to look at was, are we able to even do this? And then when you determine that you can do it, from then on, I feel like you have to be smart and you have to kind of budget. And our budget isn't even always like T for T, like it's not always like that, but you have to budget, and you have to strategize to know exactly where your money's going and to know what it's going towards, each month. And you also have to know what your obligations are, what the finances, the things that you have to pay each month, utilities, your mortgage, car insurance. Guys, that stuff is no joke. It really, really adds up. every single month. Comment down below if you guys understand what I'm talking about. Like, adulting is so hard, and I feel very blessed to be able to stay at home, and very blessed that my husband's income can take care of our family. The reality is, like, if what his income basically is what two people are often working to get. And so it wouldn't make, like, for me to go to work at the same time and leave the kids at home, it wouldn't necessarily pay off, because you have to pay for daycare as well. We look at how much we need a month, budget for our family, and leave room for bills, food, car. Exactly. Exactly. That's what you have to do. I took a few notes for myself initially. So yeah, that was the first step. Definitely budgeting. And I can give you guys a rundown. Maybe I'll do another video on that, just talking about just how our budget is, because here, like, when you have a house, it has, I don't know, no mortgage is expensive here. It is definitely a blessing to stay home with our kids. My husband and I love it for our family. Same here. Absolutely love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Never dreamt of doing this. I didn't necessarily see myself doing it, but honestly, when I had my children, I felt like my heart was called to do this. And if it had to shift, I mean, I'm a hard worker, so I could definitely work, but it would take an adjustment to have to leave my kids behind and not be able to stay at home with them in the way that we have been doing, right? So yeah, in terms of, so another thing that I would say that goes with budgeting is taking care of your bills and the things that you need to take care of first before you think outside that box and start spending. And I think this all has to do with maturity for sure, but I know people have different personalities. Like, I'm not like a big shopper, but for some people, they love to shop, and they might shop and never pay attention to what's going on. And if you're the one who will go out there shopping beforehand and not pay attention to your bills and pay attention to your bank account, well, you might find yourself in a sticky situation that you don't want to be in. So I definitely recommend taking care of your bills first. So every time, like, our paycheck comes in, I have our bills written down, and I know what needs to come out. And some things are automatic withdrawal payments. Some things you have to actually pay yourself, and you have to keep track of it. You've got to write down your bills. You got to know when they're coming out. And our 2 days are the first. Actually, it's kind of like some things are the first. Like, mortgage is the first of the month. If you can talk with your mortgage providers, you can sometimes get it postponed till the next day. So I arrange for our mortgage to come out on the 2nd, because it gives you like some breathing room, just in case something happens. You can have a solution and not have like a bounced withdrawal. I don't know what they call it, but yeah, that kind of stuff is good. So our days it's usually like the 31st, like the end of the month. And something that comes out that we would have come out is like life insurance, and then mortgage stuff like the 1st, and then we have certain things like car payment that may come out on the 15th. So yeah, there are several types of payments that comes out each month, or come out, and you have to pay attention to when they come out, and certain bills that you have to pay. And if you don't pay attention to them, you can wind up in just a slew of problems. So I would definitely say have awareness. Have some kind of a book. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be specific, because I know you can buy budget books, but at the same time, if you are on a budget, you might not want to go up there and spend money on a budget book when they do cost, I don't know, I've seen them at Michael's, I swear, for like $12. 60 pages, $12. Not going to last you very long. So you can ultimately determine what works for you. You could go to the dollar store and get just a notebook for $1 and keep track of your bills that way. There's also apps on your phone that you can use to keep track of it. And when you do that, it will at least help keep you, on top of things, and you won't feel, I don't know, you're not going to just fall behind on that stuff. So yeah, with that said, if you're keeping track of that stuff, take care of what's important first before you decide on what you need to spend on just random nothings, like even even Christmas shopping. You know, Christmas shopping, I know it's the season and everyone wants to go out there and buy stuff, but if it's not in if it's not in the cards to necessarily go out there and buy all these grand things, don't do it. Just buy what you can afford. And that's it, because it's not about, it's a season to be what is it, jolly and merry and all that stuff, but it's really about just spending time with your family and all that stuff. Not, it's not about all the big stuff. So try your best to kind of stay in budget and don't. We've faced hard times when we've had Christmases where we couldn't just go out there and buy what we would have dreamt to have bought for our kids, you know. But but we've also had times back in the day when we were careless and not as vigilant as we are now, and you know, just bought them things left, right, and center that didn't necessarily make, I don't know, it's not even make sense, because they still use them and play with them to this very day, but it wasn't necessarily in the cards, and you know what I mean. So everyone, there are dry seasons, and then there are seasons that are very fruitful, but just pay attention to what's in your pocket, and the rest will come. Um, my next thing that I have on my list is shopping smart, and that's a big one. I feel like a lot of people who ask about big families, or you know, how do you afford a large family, how do you afford so many kids, that's one of the first things that they think. And it's always, I think it boils down to like all the things that they think you can buy for the kids. Yes, there's a thing called I guess college fund, which is what everyone's always worried about, but like I've read and like a lot of my friends, you know, have said, it's like, just if you trust in God, He will work the rest out. And not saying we're jumping it all there, but I'm saying like we are trusting and just working with what we have and doing, just securing ourselves a little at a time, and we're getting there. It's not a guarantee. We hope for all of our kids to go to university. That is the dream, and I hope that that is, you know, right now that's the goal for them as well. But I feel like you never know, right? You just never know that, you know, kids can also change their minds. I'm just whispering that because I don't want to put that out there. I don't want them to change their minds. So that is definitely a goal of ours, but I feel like it's ways away and we have plenty of time. That's why we made investments such as like even this. When you invest in a home, that's a form of investment, and you know, there are perks with that as well. Perks that can help you later on financially with school, or you know, education for your kids or things like that. So that's just another thing to consider. The next thing that I wanted to say was with regards to shopping shopping smart, meaning shopping consignment. This is something that we've practiced a ton. We've actually been, especially in the past, we would buy the kids everything brand new, and it was a waste of money because they grow so fast, and it doesn't, you know, it's not like there's, it doesn't, even though for them they could pass, things could be passed down. The funny thing is, like with Gabrielle and Charlotte, they are on the same height. They basically wear the same size. So they're at a stage where we're like technically buying stuff for twins, and they're not twins. And so, you know, we still have to be, now we're more cautious of what we're doing, but before we just kind of spent things kind of wildly in a sense. Now we are aware that you can shop consignment, you can still find a lot of nice stuff for really cheap. And it's not, when I go in there, I'm not looking for like worn out clothes. I'm looking for nice stuff where no one can ever say, oh, you bought that at consignment. So yeah, you can find a lot of new things there, even with tags on, for your kids. It's all about shopping smart. On the other side of that, when it comes to groceries, um, hi, welcome. And you guys comment down below and let me know if you understand some of what I'm saying, because this is just from my perspective. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll be reading comments and stuff in between. But with regards to groceries, it's the same kind of mentality. There are sometimes perks. I remember when hubby was in school, he had like a student discount, and that gave us a discount off of our grocery. We weren't using it initially, and then we started, and we were saving like $40 to $60 every time we went to the grocery store. It's not a thing anymore because he's not in school, but perhaps I could get my student card together when I re-enroll back for my last course. Um, but you can also price match, which is really good. So here's the thing with price matching for me, okay? I have a love-hate relationship with price matching because I like it because it saves us a ton of money, but I don't like it at times because I don't want to be the one in the line just saying, "Look at this." This is, having to go through, because if you're price matching a ton of stuff, you have to show exactly where all of that stuff is coming from. And I'm not necessarily like a coupon. I don't know, we don't have a lot of coupons here in Canada like that. So we use the app, and I use the Flip app. But you have to, you have to show the cashier like every single thing, and that can hold up the line behind you. And that always makes me feel just, I don't know, I feel strange about it because I'm holding up the line. But that is a good way to go. Like, price matching works. You save a ton. Let me know, guys, and down below if any of you guys are familiar with that, and if you do, to save money, because why not? Yeah, so that is another one of my tips. I was also looking at I know, like, if you're in the States and whatnot, there's like, we talk about like medical bills and stuff like that. But like I said, we don't have to worry too much about that here because we do have health insurance with, our government or whatever. But I feel shy holding up the line at the supermarket. Yes, I too. I'm not the only one. Buying in bulk and making big meals that feed many people. Yes, girl, that is exactly what I do. So, Costco, that's why I love Costco, because I just roll up there, and when we get like our meats and stuff, like my freezer is packed, and I can make a large meal and it can last 2 days, and I don't have to it gives me a break. Don't have to cook the next day perhaps, but it saves money because you're buying things in bulk. Let's see, trying to see certain things, but some people, I know a lot of, it's like Jordan Page, when she talks, she's always mentioning it, like getting things for free, and I never followed that motto a lot, but since even having the baby, oh my goodness, we've been so blessed. We've gotten so many things for free for the baby, and it's just the biggest blessing ever. Looking back, you guys can't even see it. I'm like pointing like you can see it, but her high chair, like, honestly, we got her high chair for free, her crib for free. We got her playpens for free from her friends. I've got a ton of clothes, like boxes and boxes of clothes for free that just saved us so much money. Yes, you guys have seen that I've gone on a few hauls. I've gone to pick up a few things here and there, even recently because her birthday's coming up. But I also bought things I didn't buy it at retail price. I bought it, things on sale or things for next season, or no. So it's basically things from last season, but I bought things ahead of time so they can fit our next season. And I paid like $4 or $3 for things that were like $12 and $18. Why not shop that way? It's smart. That is how you can afford a large family, is by being smart, thinking outside the box. My kids are being so loud right now, I can hear them. But yeah, if you guys have any tips, share down below and let me know what your thoughts are on what I'm saying, because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing to strategize and be smart. Like you guys see, even this year we didn't go on a vacation because we bought this home. You guys also asked for a video on that, like a sit-down video to talk about buying our home, because if you guys know, we bought 2 houses in 2 years. We bought our first starter one and then sold it 1 year after, made a pretty good profit, and bought this one shortly, and it was a really good investment. really, really good investment. And it's been, at the same time, our mortgage has basically quadrupled. Well, no, it didn't quadruple, it more than doubled because it's a much larger house. And we saw that coming, but it kind of tightened the budget a little bit. And then hubby also switched positions in his job. His other position required a lot of overtime, and so with overtime he was getting paid quite a bit. And we basically got like a huge salary cut like we spoke about, but at the same time it was worth it because he gets to come home at a decent time and not have to, be on call 24/7 like he's like a surgeon or something. So so, that was another thing that kind of put us through the ringer a little bit when it came to our finances, but God's good and we have made it through. Well, I mean, we're still going. We are down our one vehicle because of what happened with his, but we have made the choice to wait until basically a month and a half, another month and a half, and then we're going to start looking again. But we made that decision because it's what we felt was best, and at the same time it just gave us more room later, in that time frame to get exactly what hubby needs and what he wants, instead of us rushing to get something that may, run into the same issues as his last vehicle. But yeah, if you guys are a large family and you're watching, let me know what your thoughts are on what I said, and if you can relate in any way, shape, or form. What do you guys actually do to save on money, and how do you feel, like, what do you do to survive as a large family? I'm trying to see something here. uh 15 days. This woman that I'm reading about, she's called entrepreneurial woman. I'm trying to think of anything we do extra for we can comes to families we're down to. Oh, that's nice, that's convenient. I know if hubby actually worked close by, it would be like we would probably do the one vehicle thing too. It makes it easy for him to get to work. Yeah, I can imagine. Like if he lived close by, if he worked close by, it wouldn't be so bad. But he actually works quite a bit away, about an hour almost, and so he has to commute, and that's what sucks being down one vehicle. Every time I go out there to go, even just a little Christmas shopping, in a sense, I do get so frustrated because I feel like I could run my errands during the day, and then I'm currently just down to running them on the weekend. And yeah, but overall, I'm pretty grateful for the way it's turned out. We've survived like a whole 2 months. Something I never thought I would be able to do without a vehicle. And my kids are in the background. Girls, girls, close the door. Why are you so loud? They're playing the plasma car in the basement on the floor. Um, yeah, I'm trying to. Sorry, guys. This is kind of funny. There are things that I had never thought of too that this woman was mentioning. Um, teach one thing I enjoy too about having a large family, or not necessarily having, I don't know, the most, I don't want to say the most, no, I feel like I'm going to say it backwards. The woman was basically trying to say that teaching your kids about money is a blessing. And that's what I want to say about our situation. The fact that we weren't born into wealth. We weren't born with the golden spoon in our mouth to have all the money in the world. So with that said, we get to teach our kids about money and the importance of it, but at the same time, not having it control you. So letting them know that, letting them know how to be smart about it. And sometimes even like in the house, like telling them, guys, let's turn off this light because electricity is expensive, or things like that. I still do that with my kids. I'm probably the worst one out of everyone in this house, but I try to teach them like just simple little things so they have awareness. Because even I feel like these days, even when you have a lot of money, it doesn't go very far. It really doesn't go far at all. You can have a ton of it, but then what? It's either you then have more stuff that you have to pay for, or more like I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like money just doesn't go far these days. But this lady was explaining that you can teach your kids about hard work, because that's a blessing, to be a hard worker and not be someone that just complains about working is a good thing. Not that we all enjoy work or we always want to do it, but when you are a hard worker, you don't think twice about it. You just do what you got to do. And so, you know, anyways, I'm probably going to wrap this up unless any of you guys have anything to say. One of her tips was also to be entrepreneurial, and I know some people plug out anything they're not using. Oh wow. I mean, it's smart, right? But teaching the kids about appreciating what they have. Oh yes. Even now, with the season, the Christmas season, like for instance, we were coming home on Saturday, we went out, and she went to the store to go look for something that she wanted, but it wasn't available. So she was a little disappointed. And I could tell her mood was just down. I had to give her like a little, well, not like, have like a little powwow and explain to her that, you know what, it wasn't there. It will come back. Like, don't be all moody because of stuff. It's just stuff. You don't need more of it. And at the end of the day, like, you know, you only have so much money. You don't have infinite money to just be spending on things left, right, and center. And as soon as you spend it and buy this one thing that you think you know and love, you're gonna go back to the store, see other things that capture your attention, and you're gonna want that too. So just be mindful. Around the holiday season, it gets you every time you go out there. There's just stuff everywhere, and I feel like you can't win. So the best strategy for me is to go out there, get what I need, and just come back to my house and be merry with what I have, and not be constantly tempted to want to get more stuff, because there's so many nice looking things out there. Everything's looking extra sparkly this season. Everything's looking extra bright. you know, comment down and let me know if you get what I mean, because I know I'm not the only one who feels like this or sees this, but come up with a plan. Know what's in your pocket, and avoiding, the plague, the spending plague, spending all the monies, and then come New Year you'd be struggling. You don't want to do that. No one wants to be on the struggle bus comes the New Year, and I'm just saying, like, obviously the greater population is struggling, but you just don't want to be struggling extra hard just because you bought this iPad or something that you could have waited for. Yes, I see you. You agree. It's, yeah, it's that season. So I'm trying to teach my kids in this moment that the season comes around, just be aware of what you want to spend on, have budgets, know what you, just have a cap and don't go overboard, because you're just going to find yourself going in circles. You buy this, you buy A, you want B. Bills always come first. Yep, for sure. And that's the only way I see it. I don't want to be insulting to anyone, but that's the only way. I don't understand how we can go out and spend or shop and buy stuff without paying our bills first. Shop? I'm not understanding that. Sorry, Annette. Yeah, you have to take care of your stuff. Have all your ducks. What do they say? Have your ducks aligned. Then needs, then maybe wants. Exactly. Exactly. So for me, what would it be? It would be like your bills, like I said. And, and I feel like there's so many. There's mortgage, car payment, car insurance, life insurance, um, car. I don't know what else. Oh, hydro and water. just it's endless. And then you have, yeah, your needs. And needs are like, hubby's got to go to work, needs gas in the car, you need food. And food is a big one that we've altered. We used to spend, our food budget used to be like $1,200. It was something ridiculous. How can I explain how we do it? um I was basically saying that we budget first. First you decide if you're in the position where you can stay at home. Is that what you're speaking about? And then you budget, and yeah, you see exactly what all your things cost, and know exactly what you gotta um, spend to survive, and see if they all align. Like if you don't have X amount to be able to stay at home, then perhaps it doesn't work. But if you do, you know, budget is key. And then I also said, sorry, I'm looking down because I wrote stuff down. Take care of the priorities, such as your mortgage, gas, grocery bills, and all that stuff. Shop smart, meaning using shopping at consignment stores. Not, you don't have to necessarily pay a retail price for stuff, but you can here and there, but not all the time. Um, Price match with groceries. That's what we've been doing. Even though I was explaining earlier that I'm a little shy to do it. If you're shy, put your hands up. I know I'm not. I know I'm not the only one, because others have said that they're a little shy to do it too. Yeah, those are some of my tips. Um, there's one income because I stay at home to take care of our children. Yes, I agree that you would try this. Okay, there's one income because I stay at home with our children, and my hubby goes to work. And this was a choice that we made for our family when we only had one child. It works well for us. It's what we like to do. And at the same time, hubby's gonna do it. He's gonna come and do a sit-down video about talking about what he does. He's a chemical engineer, so mind you, he gets has a great salary that's equipped enough to take care of all of us. At the same, like I was explaining before, the salary that he gets here, there are a lot of families that are both working, trying to acquire the same amount. So he definitely is making enough to take care of us, but at the same time, we have to be smart with it. Yeah, same. Okay, same. Most people, that's right. A lot of people can't do it. And it's, I get it because times are hard. It is definitely not easy. I'd say a part of what gave us the stepping stone too, be proud of holding up your hand. True, right? I should, I know. A lot of people can't do it because everything is so expensive. But what is a big part of what gave us the head start was when hubby, was working in his other position, and he worked a little. They had overtime available here and there, which really helped us out from in the initially. However, it started becoming excessive, which was it was yes, he still brought in a lot more money. At the same time, I didn't like to see him worn out. So I always told him, I'm like, if you have, when we got to a certain point, I said, if you have the opportunity to say no, you should, because your health matters too. It's not just you are the one who's saving money. True, right? Because daycare is also expensive. You're right. Daycare is expensive. I'm not sure how much it costs everywhere, but I know here it's definitely expensive. I think it's like $7 per child. And each additional child costs more. So ways. Oh, okay. So before, okay, initially I've always dreamt of being a nurse, but then they changed the nursing laws here to which nurses had to work like 12 hours or something along the lines, and I I kind of went I started having my kids at that point, and I was like, huh, I'm not sure. Like, my heart goes for the people. Like, I love to work with people, and I enjoy taking care of people. But that was the one deterrent, because I'm like, okay, I really want to have my kids, but I don't know if I want to be gone from them for 12 hours. And mind you, I'm not knocking anyone that does that. That's just my personal choice. And also, I think some of my experiences definitely lend to my answer, because I was also, and I'm just gonna put it out there, but I've been a victim of abuse and sexual abuse, and I'll put that out there. And that's something I never wanted for my kids. So yeah, and I had to collect myself for a second, because I just put that out there. That's something I just didn't ever want for my kids, and I didn't want to be gone for a long period of time, because with hubby being an engineer and being gone away a long time too, you know, yes, it can be hard because my husband works 60 to 64 hours a week, so being right. Okay, so you understand. Aaron doesn't work that anymore. On an average, he might work an extra hour or so overtime, but he doesn't work those hours anymore. But he did, and that was a lot. That's a huge part of what allowed us to acquire this home. But yeah, I was saying, like, I just got nervous, like, not nervous, but I didn't want that for my kids, and I appreciated.
Sorry, I didn't think.
Sorry.
I'll pause.
I appreciated the fact that I could stay at home with them, but that's what kind of changed my mind initially. So I did go to school anyways. I'm studying psychology. I'm a psych major, and I've got one more course to acquire my degree of 4 years. It was a very hard weekend. Started from. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's a long. Those are long hours. Yeah. And does he have time off? I'm sorry to hear that happened to you, but I understand. But your children smoking, your main concern as well. Yeah. So that's a video I'll touch base on. I haven't formally like spoken about it a lot on my channel, but that's happened. Yeah, I've been a victim of sexual abuse, and so that's a huge part of what made me want to be there for my children. And it's not to say that my parents weren't there for me. They were, because my situation, that's why it's probably good to tell you guys my backstory in a separate video, because your kids were so hurt. Oh no. I'm not sure if I'm connecting the dots. I may have missed something there, Annette. Sorry. Want to tell me what you said? Your kids were so hurt is as a result of your hubby having to work extended hours. Is that what you were saying? Oh yeah, mine get like that too when hubby has to work. They love their dad, and they love family time. They love when he comes home to be able to sit and just chill and watch our special movies or shows together or play a game. They really love. They're all daddy's girls, so. I get very moody too. Hi, Melanie. Yeah. So yeah, that's every weekend. No, I would be sad too. So hard with the kids. Family time is so, yeah. Family time is so important. That's something I've established from the get-go. You know what I'm talking about? My aunt is a specialized nurse, and she spends a lot of time. Yeah. So it's something I definitely, I even now, after doing my psych degree, because like I said, I'm one credit away from graduating, but I've told hubby, I'm like, I still think I would go into nursing, and maybe it's something I'd do after the kids have all left. I think that's a good age when they've all grown up. I think when I'm 34 now, so 20 years from now I'll be like 54. Yeah. So if we have one more, how old will I be then? God willing, I may have another one in the next, who knows? It's going to be on God's time. But thank you. I didn't do anything with this wig. I just plopped it on my head today, and yeah, didn't do a thing with it. So This is actually not how I generally wear it either, but thank you. But yeah, being a nurse is hard work, and I like, mind you, well, thank you. I don't mind the hard work part. It's just the time away from my kids. I wanted to make sure I was there because when I was growing up, my parents hustled hard too to get to have everything that they have for me, for us, everything that they got for us, I should say. You know, they were able to buy their own home, and I saw them work really hard to acquire those things, and I appreciated it to a T. But you know, each time you have, I would say each generation should want to try to do a little, even a little better, right, than the generation before them. Ah, I gotta plug my phone in here. But each generation should try to do a little bit better than the generation before them. And that said, I definitely want to, sorry, there we go. I'm trying to do even better by being around a little bit more and not have to just be away. When the molestation took place for me, I was back home still in Jamaica while my dad was in Canada and my mom was in the States. And they were both trying to make the best for me at the same time. I used to be a CNA. Oh my gosh, hard. It's going to be a nurse, but my health condition. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, it's nurses work really hard and it's tough stuff. So you have to be in good health too. Not to mention you're being exposed to all types of people as well. People that are often ill or need your assistance in some way. And so if you're not equipped to be able to, you know, thank you so much. I know. You know what? I'm at this place where I feel so delivered. I've been there for a long time where I feel I'm more than able to talk about it because I feel like it's more awareness that I want to bring to it in terms of encouraging girls to speak out and not keep that to themselves, because being a victim, I mean, for the longest time, there's a lot of shame and a lot of hurt and a lot of guilt that came with that. And yeah, it doesn't make you feel, I would say, the way I feel now about myself. I feel I'm happy with me. I'm content with me. I feel like I'm just me. But before, I felt all the shame and all that other stuff that went with that took away from just me being able to feel the best I could, because you just feel hurt. You feel hurt. You feel violated. You feel less than because someone, I don't know, felt the need to be a perpetrator in some way, shape, or form. And this is something I've shared with my girls. I've talked with them about, so they're highly familiar. What are the careers they want to pursue? So my eldest wants to be a vet. That's something she said she wanted to be since she was 4 years old. She stuck to it. Oh, I missed that. Sorry, did you say what we were talking about? Oh, okay. Sorry, if I miss a question, if you can rewrite it, I feel so bad. If you can rewrite it, though, again, that would be great, because it just pops up and then it disappears. But Mikhail wants to be a vet, and that's been forever in the making. She still wants to be that. Gabrielle wants to be, I feel like she changed hers. It was family physician, and then she kind of changed it a little bit. Now it's kind of undecided, but I think it's still something in the medical field. Charlotte wants to be a scientist. So they all really love science oriented, because, I mean, Daddy is an engineer and very much a scientist at mind. So all their career choices are very academic, and I'm pretty thrilled about it. Very, very thrilled and happy and excited to just continue encouraging them to pursue their goals. They're all hard workers, and they're all very academic kids in terms of their studies and, you know, their mindset. So I've molested by myself. Yep. And I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, that's I haven't experienced this before. I have some bad things in my life. God, I've always been with you. That's right. That's you know what? He is the only one. If I'm to attribute, like, just I don't know, the play, just all the things that allow me to be where I'm at right now. Like, God is the only one that was able to deliver me. There you okay? So and you told her as an adult, right? I can imagine. It was like that for me. Okay, so that happened to me as a child. I was probably like 6, and I didn't say anything until I got with Aaron. He was like the first person that I spoke to about a year after it went on. I'm so sorry that you dealt with that because I mean, you understand firsthand what it feels like. That's heavy, heavy stuff. You're around 11, 12. Can't, yeah. Yeah, I know. It's, I mean, it's still heavy to talk about, but I can talk about it. I totally understand what you mean about not saying anything to anyone. I didn't talk about it for the longest time. And the thing is, after I got to cut, my dad um, brought me to Canada. That's heavy, especially for a child who is an alcoholic, but there was no excuse. No, there's no excuse. And yeah, it's heavy stuff. But after my dad came back to get me, for because I just stayed with my grandmother briefly while he was able to take care of my documents so I could come here. And when he came and got me, I then felt, okay, I'm delivered because this person wasn't able to do what they did to me anymore. Yeah, it was very close. It's family, family, like they always say, right? It's never too far from home. And yeah, it was definitely a family member, and I think that's a big part of also why I had felt the guilt that I felt, right? Mom didn't believe me, and that's what I feel so bad. Like, I feel so sad for you. I always wonder about those situations where, like, the parent don't believe the child. I don't understand. Like, why do you think she didn't? It's like Precious. Didn't that happen in Precious, the movie? Where she knew, and that was played by, I think, Monique, where she knew what was happening and she didn't. I'm always saying that family can hurt you the worst. Yep, and that's true. They can hurt you. Family can definitely hurt you the worst. And they take it, I mean, I'm going to say they all, but, the ones who want to do what they do, they take advantage of the fact that they are family and that you're probably going to be hushed about it. I think for me in my scenario, oh, thank you. Thank you, Cinnabon's family. And then mom was fighting in custody battle. That one. Oh, that's okay. You were fighting a custody. Okay, they're fighting a custody battle, and that's why. And then you're saying in Precious that it's the mom was hurting too. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. Actually, I'm trying to recall. Yeah, it's a tough thing to deal with. She did. Oh, she did. Oh. I hate, yes, okay. So I've only seen it once, and that's why I wouldn't watch it again. That's crazy. Yeah, that's one of my, I honestly, I give that girl props for Gabrielle, I think her name, Sabria or something, for playing that role because I don't know if I could do it. See, yes, that movie is hard. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I feel like you could pay me a lot of money, and there's certain roles, movie roles, that I feel like I just couldn't do, and that's probably one of them. I know these days everyone who wants to be famous, they will do different whatever, in Hollywood. But I'm kidding. I'm not even kidding you when I say there are certain roles that I just know I would never do. You could pay me $1 million, and yeah. Spirituality helps. Yeah. Yeah, in terms of healing from that kind of wound, from molestation and whatnot. And I feel so bad because this topic just went, it's like a big swerve, but you know what? It's just conversations. And at the end of the day, it's life and it happened. And so I'm actually, every time I talk about it, I feel more and more like weights lifted off me. As a kid, you're walking around with that, and it's just not a good thing. Another thing I wanted to say with that is that, huh? I could believe that this happened to me because I was sheltered the whole time during it, but when oh, your life changed. Oh, wow. Um, that's real. That's really sad. So you weren't able. I hope, yeah. I hope my story can help someone. It just helps you to see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, you can still be loved by someone. Yes, divorce definitely hurts children more than the adults. I could see that. Lexi Layler, yeah, Layler, Laylor. Hi, Lexi. I said your name. But yeah, those situations are really tough for kids, and sometimes, I mean, they're often overlooked, right? I get it. Like, I wouldn't necessarily. Those situations are really hard. I don't want to say that. I don't know. It's so tough to speak on because I've seen it here on YouTube where various families are, either being torn apart or they're divorcing or just whatever the circumstances are. And like, you want to say, maybe try to work on it, try to talk about it, try to do whatever you can to salvage it. Okay, so that's from Melanie. You said you didn't date boys until you found your hubby at 18. That's kind of like what I'm encouraging my kids to do. I'm telling them, well, I told them that when you date, you lost trust in men. I hear you. I'm trying to tell them that, like, when they date, I want them to date with a purpose, not necessarily. So I know hubby's like, his age is a little bit further. Sorry, Aaron, you gotta go pick up your daughter. His time frame or age range in terms of her dating is a little bit older, and I don't know, it's still iffy because it's a sense of maturity and at the same time dating with a purpose, not just running around out there. So we'll see. But yeah, I hope me talking about it will definitely help someone. Oh, I think I was trying to say before that I feel like when you're a victim, it sometimes haunts you. My dad tried killing him almost. Oh my gosh. Your dad tried killing him. Oh no, what did he do? Bye, Lexi. Thanks for stopping by. It was a bad time. Oh, yeah, I feel like we all have some of those stories. And the funny thing is, people will walk us by and they think that you have like the most perfect life or you've never been through something, and it's like, if they only knew. That's why it's so important to not judge a book by its cover. Your stepfather, oh, yeah, your stepfather was the one who did, okay. Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like if you speak to a lot of women around, you realize that you're not the only one. You're so over it now. I can understand. Yeah, I mean, if you have to persevere, right? And if you just hold on to that hurt, it's actually only going to make you feel worse. The funny thing is, those people who did what they did, you see them, they've gone on with their lives. They're living with themselves, and you, the victim, is the one who has to pay the price. And at some point, you got to make a decision. Exactly. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to do the best you can for your kids by talking to them about that stuff, and just, bringing awareness to the topic, letting them know what not to do. The craziest thing ever happened to me, and this yeah, that's why you'll try to be kind, because you never know what someone's going through. That's right. That's right. One of the things that I even warn my kids about is just from a young age, is about how they sit, and sit like a lady and cross your legs and just those kind of things. Because I remember one person told me, like, as a kid, they saw me sitting down inappropriately, and they were busy, like, looking up my skirt as a child, which is just ridiculous. Thank you. Hubby brought me a tea. He's gonna go grab our daughter. Thank you. What kind of tea is this? What is this? Apple cinnamon. He brought me an apple cinnamon tea. Yeah, this world is a sick place. And yeah, he's really sweet for bringing me tea. He had to drop Michaela off to babysit, and now he's going to pick her up. He also has to stop at the store to grab Zoe's new toy. If Grandma's watching this, I'm sorry. I went to Old Navy yesterday, and I somehow lost Zoe's toy. So I called. I searched the house up and down, couldn't find it, and finally called, and they said it's there. So, Abby, don't forget to stop, babes. Yeah. Say hi. They can see you. They said you're very nice for bringing me tea.
Oh, that's nice. Love you.
Love you. They said bye, Aaron. Drive safe, please.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. He's so sweet. So I gave him some. I tried to give him a little time to himself. He came home and he's playing. He had to drop Michaela immediately, and then I tried to arrange it so he could play some of his games. He can have a little game time. So this is how we try to make it work. It's another thing. I'll probably do another segment on that at some point. But when it's time to just, he works really hard, and I know he deserves time to himself. So I try to have. You have such a beautiful family. Thank you. I try to create time for him, so to do some of the things that he likes, such as playing his game, and that's what he was doing. While I came over here, made a video, and the two younger girls were downstairs playing, and Zoe is laying right beside me here. I put her to sleep right before I came on. So, yeah, that's what we do to juggle it, to make sure everyone gets time as well. I think getting time for oneself is so important. You just need to be able to, connect, and not. Our house isn't, even though we have a lot of kids, our house isn't noisy either, because the girls, they like to read, and they're very quiet, except when they play the piano. Except that. We now have headphones, so your girl can think a little bit. But yeah, this was a very interesting session. I mean, I came on to talk about a certain thing, and it kind of skewed into another direction, but it's good to be able to chit chat, and I feel like you guys get to know me a little bit, to know that I'm a survivor, y'all. I'm not just, I don't know if I portray as much as I want to in my videos, in sharing, Good night, Cinnabons family. We're gonna, I'm heading off too. But I'm trying to, I feel like as time progresses, I'm trying to open up and share a little bit more about me and just us, so you guys know where we've been, and just how God's delivered us, and, just the reason why we are who we are. So I hope you guys are enjoying our channel and enjoying our candidness. You have a beautiful spirit, very kind. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And you know what? You do too, for being able to say something like that, because it's not easy for some people to say nice things. People always have negative things to say, so I think that says a lot about you as well. But I'm going to sign out, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with me for this past hour. God is good all the time, and I'm so appreciative for all of you guys. You guys don't understand what your presence also does for me. I call this a community, and I feel so loved and so blessed by every single one of you. So, and for those of you who always comment and leave nice things, and to say, you know, it's very uplifting. Oh, good night, guys. And I pray that he will that God will just bless you guys over the holidays, you know, and you guys will feel just loved and just feel the Christmas spirit in the air. Be around someone, whether it's a friend or a family, or watch them. Even if, you know, I know times are hard. Some people may not even have anyone. I don't know, but just find something cozy to watch and cuddle up on the couch with a blanket. Just be in good spirit and thank God for life. Just, you know, be thankful for even the smallest things. I think this is the longest live feed I've ever done. This is by far. I hope this all start. I know whoever is looking for this video and they're checking out the title, the first portion will answer exactly what the name of this video is, and then they're gonna get something special at the end of this, where everything took a turn. It was a nice talk. It was. You guys got to. I'll come on another live, and I will talk to you guys about my, you know, my upbringing a little bit, and just life back home before coming to a foreign country. My life in the past is still impacting me today, and I'm thankful for it. Hardship it's a blessing. It really is, and I'm so thankful for every ounce of hardship that I lived back then, because it's, you know, life is tough, but at the same time, when you lived a tougher life, I want to say as a kid, in a sense, and that sounds kind of bad. I don't mean like a tougher life, but I mean like back then. I mean, I had an outhouse to go. You know, I wanted to go to use the washroom. I had to go to an outhouse, and I didn't have running water and all those things. But it really blessed me, because it's a core part of my life today in terms of how I think, and it makes me appreciate everything that I have that much more. You're loving it. Thank you. I'm glad that you are. Yeah, I'm gonna be coming on and sharing that backstory about myself as well, and hubby will too. You know, I started this platform, so it's a little easier for me too to be more open, because I've been around for longer, and I've been talking to some of you guys a little bit longer as well. But he's on board, and he's coming on a little at a time and sharing parts of him that you guys can get to know us. We'll probably do a get to know us tag as well. So I think I'm going to sign out. It's your story, and it matters. It made you who you are. That's right, it has. I share it with my kids all the time, and just letting them know how blessed they really are. Like, they don't even know the half of it. Just to get some food to eat, you might be climbing over a barbed wire to walk 45 minutes into the bush to go collect some food. And they don't know the half of it. Right now, they just go to the grocery store and just pick whatever they want off of a shelf. And as blessed as they are, I still have to keep letting, you know, I have to instill in them that, wait a second, be thankful, because, yeah, the struggle. Yeah, the struggle. But, you know, we all just got to do the best we can. But I'm going to sign out here, guys, because I am going to go down on my treadmill real quick to get my little half an hour workout in tonight. So I got to sign off. before Michaela and hubby gets back. I know they're going to be gone for a good 40 minutes. So, thank you guys for tuning in. And I really appreciate you all. Good night. Cheers. Cheers. You've always got time for Tim Hortons. I'm so stupid. Did I wake you? We're signing off, baby. Oh, jeez. Bye. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love.